Hi, everybody. I'm Julie Skolnick, the founder of With Understanding Comes Calm, and this is the Gifted and Distractible vlog. So if you're listening to this soon after I'm recording it, it's December 2022, which means we are rolling along with the holiday season. And you know, some of you may not have heard of something called the December dilemma. So in my community, that's something we talk about because everything is so Christmassy. There's so many Christmas decorations and they're beautiful. And my family loves to drive around and look at the lights, but it leaves our faith out. And we talk about it in our community. How do we help our children understand that it's our celebration too? And there are many other religions and celebrations or non-celebrations that people feel a little bit marginalized during this time of year. So I'm going to extend this December dilemma to everybody in the 2E community. And what I want to talk about are 3 things that are hard during this time, and maybe 3 adjustments or now what's, or how can I address this and make things better, easier, help me find joy during these holidays, during this time, during this season. So 3 things that are challenging: sensory, social, and susceptibility. So what do I mean by these things? Well, sensory, like I said, we love to drive around and see the lights, but I have to tell you, we were driving in a nearby town and there were these lights that were just flashing, flashing, flashing. And my husband and I looked at each other and thought, oh my goodness, I'm so glad we don't live across the street from them, because that would be really jarring every evening. And there are other things. There are sights and sounds and smells and tunes and music and dinging bells and all sorts of sensory overload potential. Now, the other thing is these things can actually be really wonderful and lovely and heartwarming and your family traditions, and that's great. But there are others that it becomes overwhelming. The sights, the sounds, the foods, the tastes, the textures, the expectations may cause a little bit of an onslaught on your neurological system. So we have the sensory stuff that we have to think about and we have to kind of brace ourselves for. And then there are the social challenges. Too many people, not enough people, and we're feeling really lonely because we feel like we should have a ton of people around us right now, or some people tell us we should, or we have too many people and we really just want to be alone, but we can't, or we feel like we're letting people down. Or maybe small talk is really hard at some social, professional, or personal gatherings, and you just feel like you're wasting your time, or nobody wants to hear what you have to say because everybody wants to be so jolly, but gee whiz, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that doesn't feel so happy. So that brings us to susceptibility. 2E people are susceptible with their deep empathy and their broad existential considerations to feeling like this isn't really a fair time, that the commercialism is really for a certain strata of people. We feel like our authentic self may not be welcome, or that we may really have challenges in gatherings with our family or with others or non-safe humans in our lives. And so we're susceptible to really feeling bad feelings during this time. Okay, so what's the now what, Julie, you're saying? What do we do now? Okay, there's 3 things. I like to talk in 3s. So we had 3 challenges: sensory, social, susceptibility. And now we've got 3 now what's. Know yourself, do a needs assessment, and anticipate. You can. I know you can. So know yourself. What are the things? What is the sensory stuff that you love? What's the sensory stuff that you can't stand? What's the stuff you can tolerate? What's the stuff it really affects you for a prolonged period of time afterwards? What's the social expectation? What do you want? What is it about you that is important to take into account with all of these potentials for challenges, as well as potentials for beautiful celebrations and time to be together and reflection and gratitude? So know who you are, know who you want to be, okay? Because you enter into a situation and there are others there who also enter into the situation. And so we kind of have to grapple and compromise and think about what we can tolerate, what we can't tolerate. So know who you are. And then this needs assessment or perspective taking, that's when we think about, okay, what does this person need? This person is talking to me about the weather and some vacation they're going to go on. And I don't really care, but you know what? I care about the person, or I care about the host, or I care that this person has an audience for this and it's not costing me anything. So I'm going to tolerate it. Or maybe you can't tolerate it because it's the 10th person of the night and you're just want to leave. You have to do a needs assessment, do a cost benefit analysis. I know what I like and I prefer and I need. I can think about what that person might want, might need, might like. And now I have to decide. My cost benefit analysis is like, what's most important? Because if I stand here listening for another second and it's going to make me nuts, so I'm not going to be able to face another challenging thing that's about to come up, I need to take that into account. Okay, in which case that leads us to number 3, anticipate. So know yourself, do a needs assessment, and then anticipate and plan ahead. If somebody always gives me a scratchy homemade sweater for this holiday, can I wear something soft and cuddly underneath? If I know that they're going to be serving only meat and I'm a vegetarian, can I come a little bit later? Can I offer to bring something? And yeah, you know, you want to go to a party and be taken care of and have somebody cook for you. But if you're not going to be able to eat anything, wouldn't it be better to have at least one thing that you can eat? So offer to bring something. Or, you know, if it's a social situation that is challenging, think about it ahead of time. Write down 2 or 3 questions you can ask somebody so that they feel like you're interested in them, so that you can have a positive time if that's important to you. If during the needs assessment you did a cost benefit analysis and you decided, yeah, okay, let me be all in, even though it's not my thing, let me just try. So the bottom line is you've got to feel good about yourself. And that is not according to how other people tell you you should feel. But it does include thinking about other people's perspectives. This is a time right now that's very intense. My recommendation to you is to really take a minute and reflect on who you are, what your needs are, what you love, what's challenging, what you can tolerate. And then at the end of the day, guess what? You've made choices, specific, intentional choices based on your authentic self. And that's what we have to do every single day of our lives. And so right now, during this holiday season, my wish for you is that you find joy in realizing who you are and coming to the world with your authentic self that feels good for you. Happy holidays from With Understanding Comes Calm and the Gifted and Distractible blog.